So I am over 50 and I feel like I have nothing to offer. I hear a lot of people saying this, not their exact age, but I hear a lot of people saying, I'm over a certain age. I'm over 40. I'm over 50. I'm over 60 and I have nothing to offer. This video is going to share with you how you can choose specifically for yourself what offers, what products, what services you can put out there, and no matter what age you're at, it's never too late to start. This is going to be a workshop style video, so I want you to grab your notepad, grab your pen. I want you to, if you want a full PDF of this, just comment checklist below and I'll send that checklist over to you. I wanted to put that together for you. I'll probably do it later today. And then whoever comments, I'll go ahead and add a link to it so that you can have that as a checklist. But take notes while you're here so that you're not like fully having to go back and rewrite everything. That checklist is going to be for you to go back to at a later time. So, how to choose an income that fits into your lifestyle, whether you're over 40, over 50, over 60. I know a lot of us have started sort of late with their journey of entrepreneurship, but I want to make sure that anybody that's watching any video that I ever create on this channel, that you know that you too can launch a course, that you too can launch a coaching package, that you too can launch a membership. You can. And I've always try to make it super simple to my clients, but I'm going to break down in this video the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to roll in that income that fits your lifestyle. So, one thing that I want you to know, and I have notes here because I don't want to, I have some specific things that I wanted to um, ask in this video and I wanted to say, and I want to make sure they're in order so that when you're taking notes or when you're writing down your thoughts, you'll have them in a specific order. So, your lived experience is a skill set. A lot of you say, I don't have anything to offer, but you do. A lot of you may feel like what you have to offer is not enough, but you do. If you are 10% above any, not above, we're not going to say above, but if you're 10% ahead of someone else that wants to get where you are or wants to go where you're going, then you have a skill set, a knowledge, or something that you can teach them. Let's just say, for example, if you've already created a digital product, a course, an ebook, or something, and you haven't launched it, and someone asks, "Well, how do I create a digital course?" You already know how to create a digital course. You just haven't launched it, but you can teach them how to create a digital course if you've already done it. So think about the skill sets that you have. What have you survived that you no longer struggle with? What have you lived through that you no longer have to struggle with? A lot of people are in a space now where they're getting into, well, not just getting into it. A lot of new people now are wanting to be public speakers. If you've spoken on stage before, you lived through it, you didn't faint, you did that speech or whatever that talk that you did, and you got through it. What experience can you teach on that? Even no matter if it's once, no matter if it's 10 times, no matter if it's 20 times. Now, if you just did it once, you may not be able to launch a huge coaching program on it, but you may be able to launch a mini course explaining to everyone how you got that speaking engagement, how you prepared for that speaking engagement, how you um, how you offered your product, your services, your offers during that speaking engagement. Like you can do a mini course on what actually happened, what your lived experience is. So if someone asked you today for help with something, what would you be able to explain to them without research at all? For me, that would be real estate. If you go back on my channel, you'll see that I've been a realtor forever. I've been a realtor since 2001. You'll probably see some of my old videos in my old bedroom at home when I lived with my parents. Because I started selling real estate in 2001. I was 24 years old, I believe. So that was a long time ago. That's something that I can talk about without research. Some of you may have worked a 9 to 5 your entire life. In my 9 to 5, I worked in, well, I worked for foreclosure companies. So it was still real estate related. Um, so that's something else that I can talk about freely without research. Like, what does your 9 to 5 do? If you feel like you don't have a skill set, go and look at what you're doing at that 9 to 5. If you are a project manager in that 9 to 5, that's a skill that you can take to the outside world. If you are someone that helps write grants at your 9 to 5, that's something that you can take and teach to the outside world. You may not be able to give specifics of what your job does, but you can teach people how to maybe structure their grants, how to look for grants, different things like that. So you want to look at, if you can't figure out what your lived experience is, like outside of your 9 to 5, look at what you do in your 9 to 5 and pull from that. Um, so what this is another question, and I want you to, if you want, pause this video and write down your answers to these questions. Because often when we say we'll come back later, we don't come back later. When we put this video on the watch later tab on your YouTube channel, you're probably not gonna come back later. I looked at my watch later tab the other day on here on YouTube, and I have about 1,400 videos that I have set to watch later. And I can tell you, I randomly go back through all of those. So if you want to pause this video, go ahead and pause it. Answer these questions. If you want to answer them in your notes, your journal, you can, of course. But if you feel like you want to answer them in the comments, answer them. So if that's something that I can help you with, I'll help you with that. If it's another video that I can create to help you with that, I can do that as well. So yeah, just answer the questions either in the comments or in your journal. So this question was, what do people say you're good at, but you've never considered it to be income worthy? Like, we have so many skills. I see a lot of people that are building amazing YouTube channels and on other platforms, showing people how to bake cakes or showing people how to cook meals. Like, literally, I all of my things that I've been eating, not eating, well, cooking recently have come from recipes that I found here on YouTube and then on other platforms of people that are sharing cooking videos. Um, because like growing up we had like the same meals often. And it was never really nothing really different unless it was a holiday. So I didn't have a ton of recipes, but now I'm trying different things and I'm trying to, because of what I'm seeing people sharing on YouTube. They're monetizing these channels and the other platforms because of that lived experience that they have in cooking. So next thing is, let's talk about, so I want to talk about the income that drains you versus energizing you. You want to make sure when you do decide on what that income is, that it's not something that's going to overwhelm you. When I first left my 9 to 5 in 2016, I did a lot of lower cost digital products. which was great. Those lower cost digital products paid my bills. I also had my real estate business as well, which helped me to leave the 9 to 5. But the lower cost digital products is what I started with. But over the years, like around maybe like 2020, 2021, I started noticing that a lot of people were buying courses, but they were not implementing. So I started setting up done for you programs where I'm doing the back end, the project for them, where I'm setting up the landing pages, where I'm setting up the email funnels, where I'm creating the content for them, for the busy women that don't have time or just don't want to do it themselves. I started doing all of that at different times throughout the year. I would have like on average 20, 21 clients, and I had two throughout the year, 2 to 3 virtual assistants that would help me with a lot of that. So it became overwhelming to me. It did not energize me. It drained me because I was assigning things to my virtual assistants. There were some things that I had to go back and change and adjust before they were sent to clients. I was doing a lot of the projects that my virtual assistants couldn't handle. So I was working 7 days a week up until last year, up until the fall of last year. I was literally working 7 days a week because I was in a space where I took on something that drained me and not energized me. So you got to take a look at what you're accepting or what you're going into when you're creating whatever you're going to create, whether it's a service, whether it's an offer, whether it's a membership, whatever it is you're going to create. You got to make sure it's not something that'll drain you. Now, I do still offer done for you products where the services where I'm creating email funnels and creating content for clients, helping them with the back end of setting up their systems and processes. But I I've lessened the load of it. I've lessened how much of that I offer, and I've lessened how many um, clients I accept each month. I will no longer or ever accept 20 or 21 clients in a month because that means I have to bring on more VAs. I have to put out more time with project management on my end. I have to put out more work on my end of things that they can't do. So I will never do a a or t over 20 clients. Right now, my max, I would say, is when I start kind of feeling a tug of stress or having to always be on point with working for services for the done for you products, would be between 7 and 10 per month. So what I've done with that is just I've increased my prices. I've changed what they will receive, and I've reduced my team so that I can make sure that I have some time. I have some space to sit on the couch and watch Netflix if I want to on the weekends, or read my books if I want to on the weekends. So, yeah. So, one thing that you want to look for and stop yourself from doing, and I just put this like as a pointer. I see a lot of people that are jumping into businesses, online businesses, especially if you're seeing somebody going live and they have on the screen, I made $6.5 million last week from this um, coaching program or from this, um, what do you call it, MLM or whatever. So I would say, I'm not going to say don't do it, but I want you to be mindful of your time when you are doing it because often these companies have, if you're already busy And these companies are adding on, or these coaching programs or whatever you're doing is adding on tons of hours each week of more things for you to do when you're already overwhelmed is going to be a waste. You want to make sure that if, just say, for example, you decided after answering your questions, you just want to create a digital product and sell it. When you decide to create that digital product, if you don't know how to create a digital product, find somebody that can help you create a digital product, or find somebody that can create that digital product for you, whether if it's an ebook. I have a service where I create ebooks for my client. I created over 50. I was a ghostwriter for over 50 ebooks last year for my clients because they didn't have time. They had the idea. I created it for them and they put it out there to sell. So if you have a mini course, find somebody that will set up your course platform and all you have to do is send them the videos. That's something else that I do for my clients. So you want to make sure that whatever you're adding into your space, whatever you're adding on your to-do list is not going to be something that is taking over your energy and draining you, because it will never get done. It definitely will never get done. So this is something that I want you to take the time to write down and to think about after you watch this video. Think about how you want your days to look in this season of your life. So right now I'm 50. I just turned 50 in July. So think about how you want your life to look in this season and write it down. Get a notepad. I have in my notebook, I have a journal. Um, and I wrote down in the beginning of January how I want my life to look each week in 2026. And I'm already starting to see the shifts because I'm starting to take weekends off. I'm starting to have more time to sit and watch movies. I'm somebody that loves movies. I love watching series on Netflix. I love watching true crime stories. Um, but and I love reading. Like I'm addicted to reading. I'm actually about to set up a like a library on this wall here with shelves to start putting books. So I'm finding time for things because I pulled back and because I wrote down how I want my weeks, my days, and my months to look in 2026. So take a moment today or tomorrow, I would say within the next 24 hours, and write down how you want your day to look. Keep it somewhere where you can consistently read it all the time. If you are if you have, well, I'm sure most people have it on their phone. On my phone, I have like I do voice notes all the time. So when I wrote down how I wanted my day to look, what I did was read it and while I was recording my voice. So anytime I'm busy or if I'm walking, if I'm stressed and I decide to go out for a walk, I can listen to that. I hear myself explaining to me how I want my day to look and I kind of come back down from whatever is stressing me out. So, let's see what else. The final thing that I want to talk about, because this video is getting super long. I always say I'm going to do 10-minute videos and it never works because I always give too much information on my videos. But your message becomes income when it solves a problem. If what you're putting out there does not solve a problem or something that somebody wants, like just say, for example, I have a lot of clients that sell beauty products. I have clients that sell clothes. It may not solve a problem as far as somebody helping somebody with their financial needs, but it solves a problem of, I mean, it solves what they want. So just say, for example, if you sell women's clothing, and we as women, we love to look nice, of course, when we go out. And you're selling it, it solves that problem of, okay, what am I gonna wear on Friday night? Okay, what am I gonna wear to this baby shower? Okay, what am I going to wear to this wedding next month? Or what am I gonna wear on vacation? So in essence, that does solve a problem. So you got to kind of look at why people purchase clothes, events that people purchase clothes for. But if you're doing like a course or a coaching package, what problem does it solve? You can't just do like a generic term and say, let's see, I'm going to help cheer you up. This course will help cheer you up. From what? Like, you got to be clear. And I don't want to use specific words because there are specific words that my clients use. And I don't want to confuse anything that I'm helping some of my clients with, because I am, in essence, helping them create bigger platforms to solve that solution. But if you're doing something generic, like I will help you cheer up during your day, like that's good, but like give me something else. In order for me to pull out my credit card, um, you want to make sure you're giving a solution. So over the years, I've helped people solve the problem of how to create a digital course, or how to create passive income, or um, how to create recurring income. And that's going to be another video I have coming up. I have a video on here already about how to create your digital product in under 24 hours. And then I'm going to create a video as well about how to create recurring income. That's going to be coming up soon. I have it wrote down in my notes. But I want you to know that whatever the problem is, make sure you are, or not know that, make sure that when you are solving your problem or telling people what your problem is, you kind of put it like in a kind of like a story format. Now, you don't have to tell your entire story. You don't have to tell all of your business online. I know some people, they do too much and they tell all of their business, and sometimes it backfires. It comes back to them. But I want you to tell the part of the story that you feel will be a blessing to your audience, not to everybody. Everybody is not your ideal client. You can't, and that's another reason why I say don't be so generic with what your solution is. You want to be very specific, because when you're generic, you're talking to everybody. So for example, a course that I have on my list to create this year is, and any of you can take my ideas because anything that we do is going to be totally different. Basically, how to set up a digital course for women over 50. And so I would say that's very specific because it's saying who it's for and what it's going to do. So definitely make sure that you're solving a problem. What problem could you help someone solve over the next 30 days? This is how you're going to get into out of a space where you're not overthinking what you're going to teach in that digital product, in that mini course, or in that offer that you're going to create. Um, what I want you to do is comment and let us know what your decision is. Have you decided what you're going to offer? Now you don't want to, if you don't want to put your entire course name, you don't have to do all that. Just say, okay, I've decided to offer a digital course because, or I decided to offer a coaching package because. So I'm going to go ahead and create a checklist for this comment checklist. Once it's done, I'll reply to whoever's commented with that link for that checklist, so that you can have it on hand. But make sure you're keeping your notes that you took here, and go through and read these notes again over the next day or two. so that it can be fresh in your mind so that you will not be in a space where you're overthinking when you're starting to plan your course or create your course. Okay, so let me know what comments you have or questions you have in the comments. And I also want to invite you to our community, Passive Income and Prosperity. It's a free community over on Facebook. There's over 500 ladies there already. Sorry, guys, it's a group for women only. But there's over 500 ladies there. If you are thinking about setting up a specific type of income, just say, for example, print on demand. I do have several videos here on print on demand. And I also have a print on demand mentorship. I will link that in the description below. And we'll talk more about that in coming videos as well. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Talk to you soon.